Okay, so this is a rabbi in Israel. He's saying how last year during the 12-day war in June, Iran was firing missiles at Israel. And what he's saying is, that was an opportunity for us to pretend that Iranian missile hit the Dome of the Rock, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, thus destroying it. And then the Arabs will blame the Iranians, and the Arabs will go to war against the Persians. And then we can just sit back and laugh at these lunatics. Okay? So, again, this may be confusing to you as to who these people are, why they are saying these things. All right? But now what I'm going to do is explain to you what is really going on. Okay? And I keep on saying this, but it is hard from a geopolitical perspective to explain this US-Iran war. You have to look at the religious perspective, okay? The religious angle, and that's what I want to focus on today. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so again, this is the three holiest sites in the Islamic world. This is Saudi Arabia, Mecca, Medina, and this is the Dome of the Rock, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is where Muhammad was supposed to ascend to heaven. And the Jews and the Christian Zionists believe that this must be destroyed so that they can build the third temple, or Solomon's temple, okay? All right, so this is the big question in this war. And again, I keep on saying this, but I need to be right in my prediction if my analysis is to be correct. If they do not destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and if they are able to achieve peace, then my predictive model, my analysis is completely wrong, and you just ignore me, okay, for the rest of my life. And I can go back to teaching, great books or something. All right, so let us examine why this is important, okay? So today I want to introduce you to a new theory of game theory called the Law of Eschatological Convergence. Okay, so this is a very hard thing to write down, okay? It sounds complicated, but it's not, okay? Eschatology, what it is a story of how the world ends. And it's very it's very compelling for people because, remember, we discussed this last semester, but as human beings, we have three questions. Where do we come from? Why are we here? Where are we going? And eschatology provides a story that answers all three questions. Why God created us, what our mission on earth is, and what God has planned for the end of the world. Okay? And different traditions will have different eschatologies. And what's important to figure out is, in what aspect do these eschatologies converge? Okay, converge, meaning a union of these eschatologies. And why is that important? Because it allows you to predict how they will behave. Think of a story as the operating system of a society. And as such, it's a script that they will act out. And if you're able to figure out the different scripts and see how they converge together, where the union of these different scripts are, then you can actually predict how the world will turn out. Okay? All right. So, having explained the law, I'm going to go into some theory to help us understand why this works. Okay? All right. So the first thing to understand is something called the universal law of game theory. Okay? And the universal law of game theory states this. Whoever wins a game is able to do this, okay? Mass times energy times coordination. Okay? So these are the three things you want to look at to understand how well a player would do in a game. So mass is just the number of people involved on the team, okay? Energy is just how much attention, focus, motivation there is, okay? So think of it as attention or motivation or action, okay? Any of these words will do. But basically, how invested are you in winning the game? And how hard are you willing to work to win the game? And coordination is just the idea of synchronicity. And what I mean by that is how well do the teammates work together? Okay?